Welcome to Bookish Mind, Season 08, Episode 01. Today, we're diving into Debra Fine's book, The Fine Art of Small Talk, and we're asking that big question right at the start. What's the big deal about small talk anyway? It's often seen as, well, trivial, just pleasantries, maybe. But we're going to explore Fine's insights and see how it's actually much more foundational than that, really key for connection.
Exactly. And our mission, really, for this deep dive is to pull out the key takeaways from her work. Like, why is it so important? How does it even function in our lives? And crucially, how can you get better at it? Master it, even. It's not just memorizing lines, right? It's about understanding its surprising power and its practical application everywhere.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is the Debra Fine's own story here, her origin. She actually describes herself as a nerdy engineer. And at first, she totally dismissed the idea of needing conversation skills. She apparently chose engineering partly because it seemed like she wouldn't have to talk to people much.
Right. Imagine that, choosing a career to avoid talking.
That was her. And it goes back to her childhood, feeling kind of invisible, shy. She mentions this really specific memory, a third-grade birthday party. She and just one other overweight kid weren't invited.
Oof, that stuff sticks with you.
It really does. She said it made her just retreat, bury herself in books. She literally felt she didn't know how to make friends or keep them. So then fast forward, she's an engineer, great technically, but suddenly conferences, client meetings, she's expected to mingle.
And that's where the panic set in.
Totally. Her go-to was, what do you do? And then crickets. Conversational dead end. She admits she'd skip events or just stand there praying someone would rescue her, start talking to her.
And I think so many people can relate to that feeling, that discomfort. But the powerful part is her pivot. She had this break in her career and it kind of clicked. An aha moment. She realized, wait, these conversational skills, they aren't rocket science. If other people can do it, it must be something you can learn, not just some innate gift.
Exactly. It had to be learnable. And that led to this experiment she did, almost life-changing for her. She's at a happy hour, sees a guy, Rex, across the room. They make eye contact, but nobody moves. Her friend kind of nudges her, go talk to him. And her internal monologue is screaming, no way, if you wanted to meet me, he'd come over. But she did it anyway. Heart pounding, she walked over and introduced herself.
Okay, and here's the kicker. The big insight for you listening. Debra was totally convinced his hesitation was about her. She's thinking, I'm too tall, maybe still overweight, not his type. All these negative thoughts.
Right. Standard internal spiral.
But she was completely wrong. It had nothing to do with her. Rex was just shy. Too shy to approach her. And that flipped everything for her. She realized, wow, so many talented, wonderful people are just really shy. It's not always about you.
In that one conversation, the one she started, it led to one of her closest friendships.
So yeah, that experience basically made her a convert. It proved the power of small talk for building real connections.
And this brings us right to the book's main argument. Small talk often gets, a bad rap. People call it the lowly stepchild of real conversation, like it's just sallow filler.
Right.
But Fine says, no, it serves this extremely important function.
Precisely. It's not superficial, it's foundational. Small talk is the icebreaker. It clears the path for deeper conversation. Think of it like the lubricant for human connection. It reduces that initial friction, helps trust form where maybe it wouldn't otherwise. Without that little bit of, seemingly trivial chat, you rarely get to the deeper stuff. Business, romance, friendship. It all starts somewhere. And people who are good at it, they make others feel included, comfortable. And that goes such a long way.
And that connects to another big misconception she tackles. Most people, she argues, aren't actually natural-born talkers.
We see confident people working a room and just assume they have some magic gift.
Yeah, like you just rolled out of bed that way. Right. But she insists, sure, maybe some are, but most. They've worked at it, they've practiced, gone to seminars, hired coaches, read books. Like hers. Her own story, going from that geeky, introverted engineer to a pro, that's the proof. It wasn't magic. It was learned, deliberate.
Which raises that key question. If it's learnable, why aren't we well taught? Fine points out there's no, biological mechanism that just kicks in during awkward silences.
Right, no automatic rescue button.
And it's not really taught formally in school, so it highlights that it is a skill, like any other skill. Anyone can improve with effort, with the right techniques. And goodness knows we need it now more than ever.
Yeah, that brings in the whole context of our high-tech world. She mentioned John Naisbitt's book, Megatrends, from like 20 years ago. He predicted this future of high-tech, yet longing for high-touch. Basically, technology pushing us apart. Faxes, emails, cell phones replacing face-to-face stuff.
And looking around, he wasn't wrong, was he? We often are pretty isolated. Cubicles, or just our own digital bubbles. Fine talks about how membership in clubs and associations has dropped, maybe partly because we've lost that knack for informal connection.
Yeah.
She even gives this post-9/11 example. A pilot on a delayed flight literally had to tell passengers, okay, introduce yourselves to each other.
Wow.
Yeah, it just showed how much we'd lost that art. Maybe fear of rejection, maybe being overly polite about space. Whatever it is, we often don't know how to start or keep it going.
Okay, so given all that, what do we do? What's the practical takeaway?
Fine.
Really shifts gears here, from the why to the how. She gives two primary objectives for becoming a better conversationalist. First one, take the risk.
Okay.
She's really clear. It is up to us to initiate, to start talking to that stranger. Even if you feel shy, you can't just wait around hoping someone else will do it.
That takes courage, though.
It does, but she puts it in perspective. Like getting rejected at a networking event, it's really not that big a deal compared to, say, other life risks.
That's a good point. And the second objective builds on that. It's assume the burden.
Assume the burden. What does that mean exactly?
It means taking responsibility. Your responsibility, she argues. To think of topics, remember names, make introductions, smooth over the awkward bits.
Ah, okay. So don't just wait for someone else to rescue the conversation.
Exactly. Most of us secretly hope someone else will jump in, right? But she says, no, you need to be the one responsible for making others comfortable. Because think about it, if people feel comfortable around you, they'll feel good. Good about doing business with you, good about just chatting with you.
And this flows right into a really key part of the book she calls talk is cheap, but very valuable. This is where you really see the impact, especially in business.
Yeah, what's really eye-opening here is how small talk actually humanizes the relationship in business. It's not just about the transaction. Think about her examples. Investors choosing a financial planner. Sure, the numbers matter, but they often pick the one who makes them feel secure, comfortable.
Right, that rapport.
Or your doctor's bedside manner. How much does that affect your trust? Or your hairstylist. They're masters of small talk, usually.
Definitely.
You don't want to sit there for an hour with someone wielding scissors who makes you feel totally awkward, right?
It makes perfect sense when you break it down. The book says people spend money for basically two main reasons. First, the obvious one, to solve a problem or fill a need.
Like grabbing lunch.
Exactly.
Huh.
Fast food for lunch, hiring a babysitter, getting the lawn mowed, straightforward needs.
But the second reason, that's where small talk comes in big time.
Yeah. The second reason is to gain good, positive feelings. And this is small talk's superpower zone. She tells stories, like her neighbor Susan, who stays with her bank even though there are better deals elsewhere. Why? Because she likes the people. Simple as that.
Wow.
Or her friend Vince, who moved but still drives way across town to his old vet. Not because they're buddies outside appointments, but just because he likes that particular vet.
So you see the pattern, right? A good conversationalist, someone who can build that rapport through small talk. They create those positive feelings people are actually seeking. The bottom line is buyers' choices, whether it's money or time or trust, they are heavily influenced by whether rapport exists or not. And small talk, she says, is integral to establishing rapport. It's not fluff. It's essential for building that trust and connection.
And you see it everywhere once you look. Parents and teachers chatting before a conference to kind of warm things up.
Yeah, build that bridge.
Mortgage brokers making small talk with realtors or title companies.
Yeah.
It strengthens the relationship, leads to more referrals.
Sure.
The book really hammers this home. Even a minimal amount of pleasant small talk will make prospective customers remember you better than they remember your competitor.
It sets you apart.
It really does. In a packed market, it's a genuine advantage.
And this idea of garnishing big gains with a little talking, it goes way beyond just sales or client relationships. Think about good managers. They often use a bit of small talk at the beginning of a meeting. Why?
To set the tone.
Yeah.
Make people feel comfortable.
Exactly. Sets a positive, welcoming tone. It kind of creates a bridge to the more serious stuff, maybe even difficult conversations later. Makes the whole team work better.
Okay, yeah.
And it applies at home, too. Improving your conversation skills can actually help you talk to your kids better. That classic question, how was school? It's usually a dead end, right? Fine.
Yes. The one-word answer.
But if you know how to engage differently, you can turn that into a real dialogue. Find out what they actually learned, who their friends are.
So pulling this all together,
Hmm.
what's the main message for you listening? It's really clear. Small talk is no small thing. Don't dismiss it. It's this valuable thread, personally and professionally, that connects us.
Hmm.
Just appreciating its power, that's the first big step. Because once you see its value, you'll actually want to get better at it.
Mm.
It's not about becoming some slick salesperson stereotype. It's much deeper.
Mm.
Small talk, as Fine puts it so well, is the verbal equivalent of that first domino. It starts a chain reaction.
And that ripple effect, that's the really exciting part. When you get better at this, new people enter your network, friends, colleagues, those social events you used to dread, you might actually find some enjoyment, or at least navigate them successfully.
Yeah, less panic.
Less panic, absolutely. You literally open up new pathways for opportunities you wouldn't have even seen before. It's more than just politeness. It's about real connection, real growth. You might not suddenly love big networking parties, but you'll have the tools to handle them, feel comfortable, and actually get something out of them.
Exactly. Better conversation skills, they really do enhance leadership, reduce social anxiety, boost your confidence, and lead to genuinely new, deeper friendships. She even brings back Rex, the guy from the happy hour story, and reflects on his early death in a car accident.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's sobering, but it serves as this powerful reminder. The risk of engaging someone new in conversation pales in comparison to the risk of driving a car.
That really puts it in perspective.
It does. Makes taking that small social risk seem, well, much smaller. So let's wrap up our deep dive for today. The big takeaway. Small talk isn't trivial. Not at all. It's a skill. You can learn it. And it's powerful. It's that verbal equivalent of that first domino, starting so much more than we often realize.
And getting good at these skills, it can genuinely transform situations you might currently dread into real opportunities. For connection, for growth, it starts with shifting your mindset, taking that first small step, initiating. And you might surprise yourself. You might actually start to enjoy making small talk.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. If small talk is that vital first domino, creating this chain reaction of connection and opportunity, what other seemingly small first dominoes in your everyday life might you be underestimating? What potential ripple effects are you missing out on because you're not, pushing them over? What conversation will you initiate today?